Okay, the question is, what else can you use an old delay box for? I'm like probably not much different than most of you guys. Sorry, it's New Year's Eve. I've had a couple in me, so. But I had a buddy of mine ask me how I set this old delay box up to do other functions besides use it as a delay box. So, they're just a timer basically, and if you use a relay, this is one of the 5-pin Bosch relays. And if you set it up correctly, you can get this thing to do other stuff besides act as a trans brake delay box. I used it to activate a timing retard on the Mod 6 that I was using. And I'll show you guys how I wired it up to do that. Normally, this is how a delay box functions. Basically, you're going to press your trans brake button. It will activate your trans brake. It will hold 12 volts to the trans brake solenoid. You'll let off your button, and it will delay however long, and it will release. So I've got it set for 1.7 seconds right now. Let off, and 1.7 seconds it goes off, the car launches, and that's that. Now, if you use a relay and wire this up correctly, you can have it to where it doesn't hold pressure for that long. It actually activates on the release of the button, and then you can either have it to where it comes on or goes off. And I'll show you what I did here. Alright, now mind you, this is real temporary stuff that I got set up here just so I can show you guys how this works. But basically, using this relay and hooking this relay up with in conjunction with the regular old delay box. I haven't changed anything on the delay box at all. All I did was relabel these as to what they normally are, and I'll post something in here so you can see what they normally are. I've got another old delay box. So basically what I used this for was trans brake activated, and then as soon as I would release the button, it then would activate the retard and then cut off at whatever I decided to change it. So let's say I want to up it to, pull 6 degrees of timing, whatever I set my retard, whatever I want it to pull. And now let off the button and it's going to pull however much timing or activate nitrous or whatever you want it to do. It'll do it for that length of time. The other thing you can do is have it delay and then trigger on after the trans brake button is released. And that is just adding another one of these 5-pin Bosch relays to be, I guess that would be normally open, so that when you release this, instead of it coming on, it stays off, and then at this point it would turn back on. So let me post up the wiring diagram to show you guys what I have right now, and then we'll cross the next bridge when we get to it. It's like a day later. I'm recovered a little bit here. I'm thinking a little bit clearer. So let me see if I can, you can see that behind me. I kind of drew out the schematic or what I did on that old delay box. I will see if I can get you guys just an idea of what I did. If it helps somebody, great. If not, I don't, whatever. You guys turn the video off now, I guess. Whatever. But this is the schematic. Don't ask me how I figured this out. I was sitting here playing around with it, trying to figure out how the relay worked, and I actually got it to work. So what I was using the delay box for was to trigger a retard, so that I could pull timing for a little bit and then have it come back in a little later. Obviously, I'm switching ignition boxes, so it's going to do it all on its own now. But if you ever needed to use an old delay box for something with a 1 or 2 relays, you can pretty much have them do whatever you want. So let me flip the camera around here and show you what I got. Okay, here we go. So we got just a couple of components here. Obviously you got battery for power. That's your old trans brake delay box. It can be any brand. They all pretty much have the same outputs on there. I've changed the names of these on mine because basically the line lock and the trans brake buttons, what these are going to perform the same function once you change this and use a relay. So it's really like having 2 outputs. So I just put them output 1, output 2. So once you hook it up like this, and this is spaghetti looking wiring, I made it different colors, so hopefully it helps you guys figure out, you know, what I got. A 5-pin Bosch style relay, whatever device you want to trigger. I just drew a light bulb, but you know, it could be a delay, it could be nitrous, it could be whatever. And then some kind of a trigger switch, whatever you're going to use it for. And this setup is to have the light come on and stay on, or device come on once the trans brake is released for whatever setting you put in the delay box. If it's 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever, it will hold that device on for that particular delay. Now you can set it up differently, and I'll wire up a second relay and show you guys how to do that in another video, hopefully shorter than this one. But anyway, you have your different pin locations here, 2 on your switch, positive, negative on the battery. You got 5 actual here, but you're only going to use 4 of them if you're only running one device off of it. And so it's actually simpler than what it looks like. You got to run 12 volt to the box and over to your trigger switch. You got to run a ground up to your box, to your device, and over to the relay. Then you're going to run your trigger wire off. It needs to split off. It needs to go to the switch and switch location on delay box, and then it needs to go to 86 pin on the relay, which I'm naming that trigger switch. All right, you're going to run off a 30 pin. You're going to run a wire over to quote unquote line lock on the delay box. Okay, and then the last wire you need is 87A on the relay, and that's going to go over. It's going to run straight over to your device. So basically, when you hit this switch, it's going to send power to the delay box. However, delay box is going to hold the power because you're basically turning this off, and then as soon as you release, it's going to set the timer. It's going to release it on, send it to there until the timer goes off, and then it's going to kill power off. So you don't have power going to anything all the time, only when the delay box is activated. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.